From the After 9 podcast studios, this is After 9 with Scott and Kat.
Oh, hey, friends. Welcome to the pod. It is Kat Callahan and Dave Blizzard. Hello, Dave Blizzard.
Hi there, Kat Callahan. It was weird. I'm like, what a long name.
I don't know. It's very formal, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
We were talking about, what guy was talking about job titles? Meteorologists.
Yes.
Was that it?
Yeah, we were talking about meteorologists on the show today because looking at the weather for the week, it just looks kind of like we're going to get one day of a punch of winter and then it kind of goes back to mild again.
Right?
Yeah, and we're like, so when we say they tell us, we're like, who is they? We always say, they say, well, who's they? Well, in this case, we're talking about experts, meteorologists.
They are experts, sure.
Yeah, and then we started wondering, well, how far down the line do we listen to people? Like with what titles do we listen to? Weather specialist is one that we'll pay attention to. Weather enthusiast, perhaps. But meteorologist is the top of the food chain there.
It's just we've talked about it before, I know. But when it comes to the job titles, are people given these job titles or are they sometimes just elaborating what they do and they think like a word salad makes them look more interesting? My
friend said about LinkedIn, he said the more titles people give themselves, the higher percentage that they are all fake. So, or like the majority of them are fake. So if you give yourself like 8 titles, probably 7 of them are not accurate.
Yeah. Honestly, I could buy that. I know some of the people on LinkedIn, as we do, like, I don't know, most of the people on LinkedIn on my own profile, if you will, I don't know. I don't know about you. But the ones that I do know, and I know what they do for a living, and then I see their title, I think,
That's not what you do.
That's not really what you do. You could have said that differently. But nobody wants to be straight up about it anymore.
And listen, just because you posted a picture to Instagram does not make you a content creator.
Right.
Can we put that out there?
Yeah. But I mean, anyone's but that's the thing is like, I don't like those titles where it's like anyone can be it. Everyone's a content creator.
Well,
you're a content creator when you open your mouth. Like you're a content creator when you write down a note to someone. Like all of that is content in a way. So we're all content creators.
So I'm just going to start putting human on as my stat. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there's a lot of words tossed around here as I look at it. But anyway, you guys know what we're talking about. LinkedIn. Funny.
I'm glad someone does.
Yeah. Like, I want to ask your thoughts on this one. Because we've been talking on and off about Jay-Z the last podcast. We talked about it a lot. So we won't really harp on the whole accusations. But this was what was trending yesterday on that note. There's a couple of things that were trending following Jay-Z's Rock Nation post. If you want to see it, fine. Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mother, has now entered the chat, but I don't know if she realizes she has. It's hard to say. She sparked some controversy, if you will, or at least just curious minds, I suppose, after she liked an Instagram post about Jay-Z and Diddy being named in that lawsuit, accusing them of raping a 13-year-old girl.
Eek.
Would a normal person purposely like a post about their son-in-law? Unless something else was going on?
Well, you know how people do vanity searches, right? And then get into the doom scrolls? I mean, she's probably constantly looking up the stories about her daughter and about Jay-Z. And I'm sure she does that all the time. Is it possible that just in a scroll, she accidentally hit a heart on one of them and did a double tap? Did you drop a phone? Like, it could happen.
Possible.
But
haven't you accidentally liked something? I have. And then I went, I didn't mean to
yes,
like that at all.
I have. And I thought, oh, crap, I hope they don't see that notification.
Yes. And in this case, all the eyes are on her. So someone took a screenshot of it and noticed it.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of those things that went away, though. I think it might even, I don't know, as we record this, it might still be there. There are some new, a bunch of new claims when it comes to this, too. I'll just add this on. I don't believe it. But some people think that Beyonce is considering what her upcoming plans should end up looking like. Jay-Z has strong ties to the NFL. I think people know this. 50 Cent kind of mocked him a little bit yesterday in a post. But will Beyonce still perform was the question at the halftime show on Christmas Day. I think the answer is going to be yes. I think this, by all means, unless we hear otherwise, has nothing to do with Beyonce.
Unless this gets like blown up like into a million pieces over the next week. I think it's probably a go ahead.
Yeah, I think so too. The other thing in entertainment we learned was that Nelly is going on tour. Now, you might remember Nelly actually hinted, but I'm kind of disappointing, but I understand. But he kind of hinted that he and his woman, Ashanti, they just had a baby together, though, but that they might go on tour. She's not named in this, but he is launching a world tour. The names that are on it are insane, and I'm thinking Ashanti will make appearances. There's no way she won't join him, I think.
Well, she has in the past, yeah.
She has many times, but she's not listed on here. But Ja Rule Eve, Fabulous. That's Fabulous. You know?
I know you know.
Jermaine
Dupri it's in the song.
and Chingy. God, that's going to be a good show. July 31st, by the way. Do they ever add more dates if it's Bud Stage?
It depends on
right?
depends on the availability of the building around it. Usually, a good thing to do is look at the dates that are open around them, and then see how tickets sell the first little bit, or what the hype is. Sometimes the hype is so big that they'll say, you know what, we're adding a second show.
Yeah.
But they do often leave the second date or a third date even open, depending on how things go.
Yeah. I think that it's going to sell pretty quickly. I think tickets are on sale like this week, by the way. So if you want to get on it, go for it.
I'm
excited for that.
I'm still pissed about the Ticketmaster fees.
When we talked about it, I had so many people DMing me with the same thing. Like they have to question buying it, not just because of the face value of the ticket, but because of the service fees.
The service fees were ridiculous. So we bought 4 tickets to an event. The service fees were $87 a ticket. Mm-hmm. Now, it was an expensive event, but what service did you give me that costs $87 per ticket?
We need to ask those questions.
I'm serious. Like, honestly, what service? Ticketmaster, please, somebody explain this to me. What service? And that's for every ticket sold.
Yeah.
So if you get $87 on every ticket sold for one show, that is an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
And we're talking about...
we don't get anything when you go there. So what service is this? Is it to put it on my phone? No, because there's another fee. Isn't that supposed to be for the ticketing?
That's the service fee. There's a
there?
service fee and then there's a separate fee. Processing fees and it's such crap. And I'm so annoyed. It's so annoying. Costs so much. So basically, the cost of ticket fees was the cost of one more ticket.
Yeah, that's how much it was.
Like that's the fees to go to a show.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what the unfortunate thing is? I mean, much like we did, people still buy the tickets. So I feel like nothing will change because the tickets still get sold.
It's gonna have to break at some point. It's just getting too much. Yeah. It's been too much for a while, but it's getting to a point where just nobody can do this anymore, and it's gonna start affecting things.
It's sad. It will, I'm sure it already has in a way. Although I know people are still going. But for those smaller shows, you might remember some of the tours that have been canceled over the last little while. And they say because of low ticket sales. They're not going to tell you that outright, but you know it's probably the case. But can you blame people? Like I don't blame you if you don't want to spend $100 extra per ticket on service fees.
Yeah, if it was dumb. If it was $87 for the transaction, okay. But each individual ticket didn't cost you $87 worth of service to make sure I got it.
I don't know. Like, is there a red carpet when we go there? I don't know. There better be.
Do I get to go in the Ticketmaster lounge?
Like, tell me. What do I get?
What do I get for it?
It doesn't make sense. And they'll just give you like a bunch of gobbledygook bullshit when you ask about it. You know what I mean? If you ask about it at all. We don't even bother anymore. We talked about Christmas.
We've just given up.
Just like, honestly, like, I don't know. I buy less tickets to things. It's true. Although right now I bought several tickets because Christmas is coming up and things like that. So this is when I'm really noticing. We'll talk about Christmas movies real quick. I know we just talked about our go-to Christmas movies and we talked about Home Alone yesterday, but I failed to mention A Christmas Story is another movie for me that I watch every single year, typically. So somebody broke into a plumbing supply store. Okay. And they stole, of all the things, plumbing supplies. Think about what they could possibly steal. It's nothing like what you'd believe. It was actually something that was sitting in the front window for Christmas. It was the 45-inch tall leg lamp from A Christmas Story that this plumbing place just happened to put up as a decoration. Someone broke in and they looked around and they checked and double checked and they found they only broke in for the damn lamp.
There's a $300 power sander over there that I'm just going to leave. And, look at all this other amazing equipment I can steal. But I'm just going to take this lamp.
Replacing the damaged window, by the way, they say in this report, cost $3,000.
So it's way more than the lamp.
Oh, the lamp is like 100, maybe 150, depending on where you get it from and stuff.
That's embarrassing.
You just go in and ask for it at a certain point, like, please save me. And they had to like shut down for half a day because of it. Awful. But what made me laugh was the fact that it was the Marysville, Washington Police Department that posted about the lamp. You know how sometimes police, they try to get a little cheeky and funny? So they added in a photo of said lamp as if anyone would be able to know. But this replica leg lamp was stolen. Be on the lookout for it. described as a full 45 inches tall, like the 4th of July, and glorious, maybe fragile.
Good. Well, good. They got all the references in.
I just, I get it. They're trying, but I see a lot of it this year. Like they're trying to be funny.
Return this item immediately, or we will shoot your eye out.
Right? They might as well. Well, they wouldn't. But that would have been funny.
Go for the run.
That would have been an addition. Yep. Did you see the story? We didn't end up talking about it on the pod. Was it out of Ottawa? The person that was watching porn while they were driving, that got pulled over last week.
No.
Did you see this photo?
Oh, no, thankfully.
Oh, my fuck. Okay, it wasn't in action, but they took their device and put it on their dash. Like, above the wheel, you've got like the that area. They,
yes, where all your...
The speedometer area.
The panel, yeah.
Sure. So they propped up their device over top of the speedometer, and cops drove past this person and went, what kind of a screen is that in that car? And slowed down and realized there was porn on, and the guy was driving full-fledged watching porn. Now, I don't know if he was acting on it while driving, but he was watching it, and then they pulled him over. Then they posted about it.
Talk about driving stick. No.
But then they posted, no.
Okay, never mind.
No. There's a lot of them you could do, though.
Oh, yeah. Talk about driving hard. What? No, that doesn't work.
What?
Put it in the ignition. Nope, still doesn't work.
He was going forward and reverse, forward and reverse, forward and reverse.
Tie it up with your seatbelt. Nope, still doesn't work.
Oh, my God. But then they posted a photo of what that looked like inside, is what I mean, like with the device that was leaning up against it. Mm-hmm. Like, what are you doing, guy? Like, okay, but here's the thing. From the cop's perspective, take me through what this was like. So you realize someone's watching porn. You pull them over, because that's distraction, for those who don't know, among many other things, perhaps.
I would imagine.
How do you approach the person, and what do you say?
You just say to the officer, listen, this is a total misunderstanding. You saw it wrong. It's actually my GPS screen, and I was just entering a tunnel. That's all.
Entering a very well lubricated
tunnel. Yeah. It's been raining for days. Obviously, look at this place. Yeah, I'm just going to drive right into the tunnel, and everything will be just fine.
Anyway, there's a time and a place, right? But it's amazing when we talk about things like that, the amount of truck drivers. Truck drivers have, I want to say, a great, I guess, but not, perspective of inside vehicles. They can see into vehicles quite clearly.
They have a view.
Yeah. Right?
They have the top perch, if you will.
They do. And it's amazing the amount of truck drivers who have seen some stuff. And I don't just mean someone eating food while they're driving, okay?
Yeah.
But this guy got busted before he busted.
I was going to say before or after.
Before he busted. No, we're not actually sure. I didn't look for the details, but nonetheless, be careful driving. Anything else you want to mention here, Dave? Because I know we have meetings today. Unfortunately, guys, we have things.
Well, it's our job. But
we have things we got to do.
It's quite all right. I wanted to follow up. There was some questions about the Blue Jays stuff from yesterday that we talked about briefly on the pod. People were asking how far and how close they got to signing Juan Soto, who is the biggest free agent of the offseason. If you're just like, you have no idea what we're talking about. He plays baseball, played for the Yankees last year.
Han Solo, he's in Star Wars.
Han Solo is not the same person.
He's the one in Star Wars.
It's not him at all. Juan Soto is a baseball player. And he ended up signing with the Mets for 16 years and $760 million. The story that we're hearing today is that the Blue Jays offer was slightly under $700 million, but they had permission to go higher if they wanted to.
Didn't?
And it just got to the point where the Mets outbid them. But I mean, come on, if you're at $700 million, you went in.
Yeah.
So what do they do now? I don't know. But after seeing that, like, what are the odds that Vlad doesn't test free agency next year? And maybe he re-signs with the Jays. I really, really, really hope, for the sake of the franchise, that they end up signing Vlad long-term, because we need some good news as Blue Jays fans right now. We've been hit with some hard stuff the last couple of years, and it's been challenging. The ticket price is going up, the team not doing so well. The new layout of the stadium looks fantastic, but the product hasn't been fantastic over the last couple of years, specifically this year. So we'll see if that ends up cleaning up. We'll see if they can end up, dipping into free agency and getting someone else elsewhere. There was a couple pitchers they were looking at. There are still some impact players that they could pull into the team. So we'll see if it ends up going well. But for those who are like, oh, the Jays are too cheap. No. They went at $700 million. You can't say $700 million and cheap in the same sentence unless you're saying $700 million is not cheap.
But
it's the only way.
Then that's not. No, it's a lot of money. Do they take that then, do you think, and use it with players that they're going to pick up?
Well,
is that the best way to do it? Or do you obviously lock in, if you can, lock in who you have, like you mentioned, and try to get new? Is it up and comers? Do you try to, I don't know, take someone that's available?
Well, they gave away, or they traded off players last year and got assets back. The Yusei Kikuchi trade in particular, amazing trade for the Blue Jays. Fantastic. They got great prospects back from the Astros. Now Yusei Kikuchi finished the year with the Astros, and now he's gone and signed with another team. So the Astros overpaid to get Yusei Kikuchi for a couple of months.
And you really never know. Well,
if he signs with your team long term, then you're like, oh, great. Then that was worth it. But they only got him as a rental player for a couple of months. That's all they ended up with.
Interesting.
So what the Jays have been building up the farm system again. It was depleted the last couple of years. So they're trying to get that back up and full. And I think that they're doing the right things with some of the younger players, and the development is coming along. And there are players who are ready to step up and take the role. So do players like Bo and Vladdy have a home long term? Vladdy, I think so. Bo, I hope so.
Yeah. It's interesting. You could take a lot of what you're saying and put it on the Leafs, just different names, where it's a lot of up in the air right now, too.
Yeah.
Over there. Oh, yeah. There's still a lot of questions about them. Who do you sign, and is it long term? Is someone going to be out? Do you keep the lineup the way it is? I mean, so far they're doing okay, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, we are out for now, friends. Join us on the show. I think we mentioned we've got Kendrick Lamar and SZA tickets again tomorrow. We've been having fun with that. It's Energy 95.3 and 91.5 The Beat. If you're listening out London way, though, we are going to be broadcasting live in the afternoon on 103.1 Fresh Radio. Bring your unwrapped toy. And I know you're thinking little kid right away. Hang on a second. This is the Toys for Tweens toy drive at the Delta London Armories is where we're going to be. And 103.1 Fresh Radio is going to be on site from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you don't have to come when we're there, but we're going to be there beginning at 2 p.m. For a while. So feel free to come and say hello. But if you're in the London area, we know that there's a lot of need for a lot of families everywhere. But if you want to come say hello, all the details are at 1031freshradio.ca. Have yourselves a great day, friends. We're out. Bye-bye.
Well, this is big. TikTok just lost its appeal in federal court to avoid being banned next month. The Chinese-owned app could be shut down in America for being a national security threat. Here's what other apps had to say about it. Facebook said, this sets a very dangerous precedent. Anyway, here's an AI video of Trump rescuing a kitten from a fire that your grandma thinks is real. Instagram Reels said, this is terrible. If TikTok goes away, what will we show everyone 2 weeks from now? YouTube Shorts said, this is terrible. If Instagram Reels doesn't have anything to show 2 weeks from now, what will we show you 3 weeks from now? And finally, Temu said, don't worry, we'll make sure China still has your data. That's nice. It's nice. Why not?